folks, Cat Chow Yum here again, and Super Mario 3D All-Stars is here, and you know what that means. That means I have been binging on all the classics I grew up with all over again. Whether it's collecting stars, shines, or grand stars, I have been a very busy bee traversing through this colorful collection of Mario memories. So, whether you remember these games from your childhood or have yet to play them, let's press A to start a new adventure and our way into galaxies unknown. First things first, I know that these graphics may not be the most gorgeous ones ever seen on the Switch, but they certainly aren't the worst, and honestly, it doesn't make a difference to me. Super Mario 64 is nostalgia incarnate. I remember the first time I played this game on a Target demo station. This was the first game I had ever even played, and it was the game that made me want a console. Every time from then on that my family went anywhere on vacation and we would stay at one of those awesome hotels that had the N64 pay-per-view money trap, I would always sucker my parents into letting me play, and even though I never made it past the first star, if I even got that far, the memory of just jumping around and exploring, the almost classical sounding music of Peach's castle, and the amazement I felt jumping into a painting and magically transporting into a whole different world is something I will never forget. These are some of my earliest gaming memories, and so fundamental to how I got into video games. Playing Super Mario 64 now just feels like I'm all of a sudden right back to that Target where I first encountered the magic that was Nintendo. This company just knows how to sell nostalgia, how to sell an indescribable bliss of memories and pack them all up neat and tidy into a collection I can now play again and again for years to come. Thanks for doing that, Nintendo. Profit-driven as it may be, there's nothing wrong with sticking to the original formula when it comes to re-releases, and this is one game I'm glad they left largely untouched. The backgrounds and textures, if you can call this a texture, might not be anywhere near the level of graphical prowess as, say, Super Mario Odyssey, but honestly, if it was, it wouldn't feel like the same game to me. This collection is a time capsule, a snapshot in Nintendo's history, and one I'll be very happy to replay as many times as they release it, even if I still never seem to get very far. Super Mario Sunshine. So many fond memories of sitting at home in my living room on a rainy day, boxed macaroni to my left, glass of fruit punch to my right, turning on my GameCube and booting up this little piece of sunshine and being greeted by the sounds of an island paradise. Isle Delfino is one of my favorite places to explore in any game, period. The hub world is just chock full of secrets and surprises, and the water gun / jetpack Mario has along for the ride makes this area so satisfyingly explorable in a way that I had previously never encountered in a game before. The perfect follow-up to Mario 64, this game took so many of the things that made that title so successful and built upon those concepts by taking risks and introducing new mechanics, some of which worked amazingly and others which received a good deal of criticism. Regardless of where you stand on this game, you can't deny that the overall vibe and setting is engineered to give you serotonin. Like, seriously, I feel like I'm on vacation right now. Even the different levels and areas you collect stars in are all masterfully tied into the lore of the island and its inhabitants. This is the type of game that, even though I have gone back and played it many a time, I will always have shines and secret areas that I completely overlooked previously and can now tackle and puzzle solve with a more game-savvy mind. This never-ending paradise is the vacation that keeps on vibing, and I am 100% here for it. So happy to have this place back in my life again. The music in all of these games is really spectacular, and it's a common theme I keep returning to here. So much of the nostalgia I have for 3D Mario titles is rooted in the scores these games are set to. Nintendo knows this too. They even included full soundtracks for each of the games in the menu of the collection. Nothing is quite as spectacular, however, as the sweeping orchestral tracks of Super Mario Galaxy. If you just listen to the music isolated from the game itself, it reminds me of something you might hear while waiting in line for Space Mountain in Disney or something. The music alone is not all that makes this game so special, however. Super Mario Galaxy is another whimsical escapade through spectacular places as your favorite plumber, and this time, with the addition of a new princess character and some out-of-this-world new costumes. The hub world for this game is the only area where I feel it might be a step back from the previous installments, as it feels much more linear and doesn't have quite as much to explore in my opinion. But the levels and the gameplay at its heart is still classic 3D Mario and breaks boundaries in its own ways. The levels might all be just a little bit more linear, but the platforming aspect has been so astronomically innovated upon for this release that it sort of doesn't matter. You might be going from planet to planet in a fairly straightforward path, but each hunk of space rock has its own center of gravity and perspective shift, which makes playing the game unlike anything I have ever played before. The initial release of this one was on the Wii, and has its own kind of nostalgia for me there as well, as it was one of my favorite games on that system, and one of my first games for it. This game features a unique control scheme that was suited for the Wii to show off its motion sensing capabilities, and those same controls have been implemented into the Switch version seamlessly, if not greatly improved due to the Switch's tighter control sensitivity and the fact that you don't need to watch out for your cat or parent constantly knocking over a sensor bar. This is the best way to play this game. It feels right at home on the Switch, and at times, I forget I'm even playing on a completely different console than the game was released on. The controls just feel that intentional. Nintendo, my friend, you have done it again, and that's just it. The company has really figured out how to bring their classics and older popular content to new generations and to new platforms. I know there are still a few out there who will say this game should have had a little more work done before the port, and I think there are some valid criticisms there. But going into this collection, I wasn't looking for anything other than the chance to play these great titles again, flaws and all, and that's exactly what I got, so I'm pretty darn satisfied. Let me know what memories you all have growing up with 3D Mario games and what Super Mario 3D All-Stars means to you. Thanks again for subscribing and commenting, and if you want to chat or talk more about games, hit me up during my live streams every Saturday morning on Twitch. Thanks for hanging out, y'all, and have a great rest of your day. Cat Chow Yum, signing off.